Hi there and good morning. Long time no see, even though I am thinking about you and sending you a lot of love. My personal journey is really amazing and takes me to places that I just, couldn't expect. So things are changing in me. Even the way I work and the way I see things is totally changing. And I also want to apologize. A few people that asked me for sessions and I haven't returned them an answer yet. It just, things are so changing. Even really the way I go through working with this, with what I'm doing with people. So just those who can wait for me will wait, and others, that's okay. Whatever has to happen will happen. And we are going to enter a very interesting week. The week of the crosses, rulership, grace, and informing. Two interesting gates that we talked about them a lot, so we are not going to get deeper into this Moody Oppression, but just a little bit. Let's look at how these gates are going to affect us this week. So first of all, the moon now is in the gate of the provocateur, in the 39th gate, and it connects to the south node, the 55th gate, and they form together the channel of emoting, which is really the channel of moodiness, and it connects, of course, to the 22nd gate, the gate of openness, grace, which is in the sun. So it's only a few hours, but this is the welcoming of this of these two gates in the Sun Earth. We're going to feel this moodiness. This brings a lot of energy of mutation. We also have Mars in the third gate, which is the format gate of the individual process, the gate of ordering. So we have a lot of potential for mutation, along with the transformation we already are aware of for a long time. And it's of course, acoustic gates, acoustic channel and gate, acoustic, it's the 22nd gate. If you have the 12th gate, it's going to connect you to this manifesting energy, emotional manifesting energy. And now it connects actually two motors to the throat if you have this gate. So it's very powerful. It is powerful. We can't ignore it, of course. And the other side of this transit is, of course, the gate of oppression, understanding. And we have a lot of mental activity, because we have the Neptune in the gate of doubt, and we have Saturn in the gate of ideas. So now we are going to have also the oppression for a week. And, it depends on our design, how it connects directly to us. But this is energy that we can feel, because the doubt, I can feel it. I mean, I don't feel it on me, but I get the reflection from everyone around me. So the same will be with the oppression and, of course, with the ideas. So this is how it's going to look. A lot of moodiness, mutative energy, melancholy, and, of course, romanticism that comes with this stream of emoting. So it's interesting. Another thing that happens is that Pluto is moved to the fifth line in Magnanimity. And this, first of all, creates harmony between Pluto and Saturn, these two gates. The 32nd gate now is in the second line, and Pluto sits on the fifth line. So the channel of transformation will be in harmony just for a few days, but this can be felt very strongly because we have this harmony, and we had this very, very strong line, the fourth line in Pluto. It was really strong, and now we move to the fifth line, which is a very interesting line. It has only excitement. And it's a fifth line, it's a line of projection, so it's going to be interesting, and it resonates to the projection of the ideas that come from 11th gate in the fifth line, the philanthropist. So this is going to be interesting to see how these two gates resonate, the energy between them resonate. Later this day, we are going to have matured mutation, because the moon will enter the gate of development, the gate of beginnings, and form the format energy, the cyclic format energy of the sensing circuit. So we are going to have the channel of maturation with the gate of difficulties in the beginning, which brings us new things, the gate of ordering, the gate of mutation, the format energy of the individual process. And all this, of course, connected to the channel of transformation. So it's a lot of action. And actually, what it shows us is how things are now. It's not just temporary when the moon is here or when Mars is here. This is our period. We live in this era. It's a very, very transformative time. Mutation, time of mutation, time of maturity, and we can just ride it. I mean, if we really surrender to the program and let ourselves get all the presence that it gives us, because it does. If we surrender to our design strongly and radically, actually we less and less act from conditionings. And then this data that arrives now through the neutrino fields doesn't need to push buttons that we have conditioned, but it can be fresh data that helps us move here and now. And it's like inspiration. It's very, very interesting. Can ponder on that. And then tomorrow we are going to experience the channel of curiosity. It's going to have the moon will be in the Wanderer, connecting with Saturn in the gate of ideas. So, of course, the 47th gate, the gate of understanding, will be felt strongly. So we can tell stories about the past transformations. And then the moon in the 10th, the moon will enter the gate of formalization, the gate of youthful folly, and create the channel of logic. So everything in the head and ajna will be lightened up for us. We feel the understanding and the oppression. We feel the channel of logic and the ideas. So, we can enjoy it. We can really enjoy it, and just for 10 hours. Another thing that happens, which is really significant, is that the 32nd gate, that Jupiter sits in it, and Jupiter is in retrograde, moves to the first line, and it will stay there until the 18th of March, and then it goes back to gate 57. So first of all, we have a few, it's like, I think 2 weeks that we are going to feel the channel of transformation this strongly, and it will move, even though this is the yearly blueprint of the year that we had for this 3-5 transformative year, but still it will be a little different when the channel will not be there. So the first line of the gate of continuity, the gate of duration, is called conservation. And this is so beautiful because, first of all, this line is the foundation for the whole hexagram. And it's a very, very beautiful line. And also I just know so many people who just have this line in their cross, and I've learned really to appreciate this amazing line and this amazing gate. And it's interesting because this line is very conservative. It's all about conservation. And the thing about conservation is this is actually the lesson of this gate in the whole gate, because it's about what to conserve and what not to conserve, what to keep the way it is, to keep the continuity, and where to allow the transformation, the change. And we know that the line that describes the whole gate is that the only thing that endures is change. So this is a very interesting gate. On the one hand, it really want to conserve, but on the other hand, it is the gate that allows the transformation, allows the fuel of the Marian Maiden to transform, allow it to really take it to the next step. So it's nice. It's very, very nice. And this is a life-sustaining respect and attention to all aspects of a process, or the uncontrollable urge to bypass essentials, which inevitably leads to the destruction of continuity. Very, very interesting gate. And we are going to experience this in the channel until the 18th of March. And for the grand finale of this neutrino week, we are going to have the moon in the gate of friction, the 6th gate, and we're going to have, of course, the channel of intimacy. And this will lighten up the 22nd gate and the 36th gate, which is Mercury will sit there. And of course, the South Node, and of course, the 42nd gate and the 3rd gate. I mean, everything will be lightened up, but this is not going to end in these 10 hours of the moon in the gate of conflict, because this is the end of the neutrino week, and the next week is the 36th gate in the sun and the 6th gate in Earth. So we are going to have the same configuration, more or less, but stronger for a whole week. So to remind us about the protection we need, here is a very sweet slide made by Yaniv Ginton. And he wrote that the best protection ever is follow your strategy and inner authority. He, by the way, has the 59 in his cross, so he knows what he's talking about. And thank you, Yaniv. Yaniv is a sweet young man, who just finished his training to be an LYD guide. He lives in Amsterdam. He's an Israeli. He lives in Amsterdam. And he also translated to Hebrew Marianne's book, Transformation of One. So I know that those who watch me don't speak Hebrew, but I just want to acknowledge this beautiful thing that Yaniv did. It was by response, and he's a sacral MG, and I learned a lot from him how to communicate with this configuration, this creature, which is a sacral MG, full integration and 300 others channels. Really interesting design. So if you want to purchase or you want to share it with your Israeli friends, you can go to his website or to Marianne's website to purchase the Hebrew version of Marianne's book. So we are going to have our usual ceremony of finale with our very sexy quartet for this week. I just want to share with you that I experimented this week with initiating. I didn't think it was initiating, but I felt it was initiating, and I decided to take that little step and experiment what it will be to do something that I'm not sure was in my strategy. And I did this experimental thing, and of course it proved again that there's nothing on this earth like the strategy. So I encourage you to stay in it. But if you need to, especially now with Uranus that is in the third line, in the trial and error line, and it connects resonantly with my 53 in the third line. I need to learn through trial and error, and it was really good to do this, because when I learn from my mistakes, this is so strong that I know I will never do it again. It's not like listening to somebody else or learning in a sweet way. This is like, oh my God, yes, I understand. I will not do it again. So thank you, Uranus, and thank this program for pushing me and showing me that there's nothing safer and greater than my strategy. And of course, inner authority. So my inner authority becomes more and more discerning and more slow, and I love it. Or it's not that it becomes slower, it's just that I slowed down in order to listen to it, to respect it, which is beautiful. And of course, sleeping alone, no need to talk about that. You see these 4 sexy girls, they sleep alone. And we have the nutrition that we know that we are talking about all kinds of of ways to nurture ourselves. And even the program is nutrition. And we can take these neutrinos, nurturing neutrinos, and allow them to teach us what we need to learn. Like this mistake I did this week, which really was great for me. So I love you. Thank you for waiting for me. And see you when I see you. Bye.